We're going into Erica's interview. Thank you guys. That was beautiful. So, Erica, let's get into you and your talk. We're running a little bit late. So, moving through challenging times with grace. I know
Mhm.
grace is such a beautiful place to go to.
Yeah.
So, can you speak into that and wherever you want to take it, I will follow.
Yeah, yeah. This is, yeah, a great topic, and I was happy that you wanted me to share on this. And we talked a lot already about belief systems and mindset and things like that. So
Right.
I won't, berate that or go back there.
Mm-hmm.
But really moving through any challenge, whatever it looks like, um, foundational tools help you to get through it. And, we're kind of coming off the conversation of motherhood there with the last question. And one of the things that I've learned that has helped me the most in motherhood is not trying to, or just in life in general, right? But we're creating or giving life to the next generation here, um, is to, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, it's just to make sure that we are giving them the foundations to have that tenacity, that grit, that wherewithal to get through life, versus trying to, protect them or ourselves from each situation that we go through, because challenges and pain in life will show up in different ways for all of us. So I think that that's one of the, learning to fortify the mind and the foundational tools to help you to get through life's challenges can be one of the biggest lessons that we can give to ourselves and to others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with that, so we already talked about mindset, but I also talk about when you're going through the challenge, again, whether it be illness, whether it be taking care of a parent with dementia, whether it be divorce, whether it be reestablishing yourself after financial devastation, deep forgiveness is going to be one of the other biggest things that you can do for yourself and with yourself outside of your beliefs and your mindset. I know a lot of times moving through challenges, we like to beat up on ourselves, and we usually aren't kind to ourselves. We're like, how did I do that? How did this happen? With me, with my situation with breast cancer, it was, oh my gosh, how did I allow my body to get run down on the ground? How did I get to such a low space? How did I? And again, I like the book that Kimberly, shared the title of, where the gentleman, decided, or had the question raised or raised the question, do things just happen to us? Uh, or is this just random, or was this planned for me? I went through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the beauty in whatever it is that you're going through can be a challenge, but it was what helped me a lot. So I decided to believe that everything happens for a reason. And I actually learned to express gratitude, which is the next step. So forgiveness and also gratitude for the life challenge or experience that you're moving through.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have been able to now thank cancer. I said, a lot of times that scares people, the whole C word and the whole diagnosis. But what it did for me, cancer actually taught me how to live. Cancer actually saved my life,
Mm-hmm.
because I would have kept derailing and kept going and burning myself out. It took me to hit a rail and bump up against something and realize you're not valuing yourself. You want others to value you. And I wasn't valuing myself. I wasn't sleeping. I was burning out. I was taking care of a daughter that had an illness at the time, too. Everything was for everyone else. I was a wife. I was actually in an emotionally abusive and toxic relationship. I probably would have stayed in it.
Mm-hmm.
But coming out, I learned to value me. I learned to love myself more than anybody or anything else, because, again, I'm the person that can turn around and give that love to make my children better, my community better, the world better. So I learned a lot from the time that I got that phone call.
Mm-hmm.
So again, whatever it is, finding the gift, even if you're taking care of a parent and now maybe you're spending more time with them ever than you ever had before, or you lose that job, but that job was taking life from you. And now you can go pursue your passion, like Lisa mentioned, and maybe now you go travel the world and you go sit with the gurus, or you sit by the water and you figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing, what your planetary contribution is. So there's a gift in every experience, even as dark and bleak as it may seem, and it takes to get to a certain level of consciousness before you get there, but there truly is. So in addition to establishing an excellent mindset, is finding forgiving yourself and finding the gift in the
Mm-hmm.
experience.
And I want to speak about that because, and I just want to put it out there that when you have a big loss, there is that time of, you don't need to do anything right away. Okay. You can just, okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, no one's saying that and that. It's like sometimes I have to
Hmm.
say that because sometimes it feels like, because maybe I should be doing something, trying to get better when you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Not ready when you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's giving myself. I gave myself grace
Mm-hmm.
in that space. So can you speak about what grace looks like and what it could manifest as, and what it could be played out as? Grace.
Absolutely. Grace looks like taking whatever you need, taking whatever you as a bio individual needs. That's why sometimes I go, when I hear people telling people what they should be doing in
Mm-hmm.
certain situations and certain seasons, because everyone is different. Every single one is different. Even for example, through this pandemic that we're experiencing, which is wonderful. Some people are saying, hey, use this as a time to come out better. Write the book, start the company, do grace can be just ensuring that your mental health is in place. Grace can be taking more naps and getting more rest. Grace can be, if you are that high D or that dominant person or whatever, grace could be writing that book or starting that company. I like to say, just envision yourself. One of the meditations I give clients, just floating on your back, bobbing on the ocean, and you're, outdoors, this vast space, right? You're just floating. You don't see anything for miles and miles and miles. Now, just imagine anything and everything that you need is just floating with you out there. What are you reaching for? What do you need? Don't think about anyone else, who you should be. Remember those beliefs. We don't even know if they're yours. What do you
Mm-hmm.
need? Just a vision is there, and write the prescription for your own challenge. Maybe you need more jogging or exercise or to get out and get fresh air because that helps you to feel better. Maybe you need to be brave enough to take that leave from work. Lisa talked about before how, Western civilization, we view things versus, in other worlds. Where other things are valued. So maybe you think, oh, I can't take off work. That means I'm weak. That means I can't, or it means that you're doing what you need for you. You're installing your own belief and you're being your own guide right now. So that's what grace is. It's whatever you need, no explanation to anyone, and just doing it. Even going through my divorce right now, I tell my daughters, she see me at times, teared up, or maybe I'm lying down and resting more. And they'll come in the room, Mama, are you okay? Absolutely. I'm cleansing my soul and I'm resting so that I can get back up and be the mama that you need me to be and be the woman that I need to be. I verbalize that language for them.
Mm-hmm.
Where others, they may feel the need to hide their tears and the like. I choose to show my daughters what it means to, or how you can move through a challenging time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No apologies,
Yeah, no apologies and no judgment.
no judgment. This may look different from your neighbor who's, going through this down the street. It may be, it may look different for your mother or your cousin that went through a certain situation. And that's what I think we really need to realize. We are all individuals. We're wired differently. Our immune systems are different. Our biochemistry is different. Everything about us is different. So we cannot compare our journey, our challenge to anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a life energy and a life force running through us too. Some people have more life force left than others. So, and that
Uh,
sounds a bit morbid, but that's just the truth.
let's
So we
speak
have to
into what
honor
is
that.
that? Speak into that, please. Life force.
Yes,
What do you
yeah.
mean?
So your life force or your life energy, in traditional Chinese medicine, they may call it your qi.
Mm-hmm.
In Ayurvedic medicine or Ayurveda healing, they may call it your ama. So
Mm-hmm.
there's different names for it. Basically, it's just your energy force, and more scientifically, it's called your ATP. But it's just the energy left in your cells that basically gives your body energy to get up and move and have life. Some of us are lower on it, some of us are high, which brings me to another point. I am a big advocate of you putting together a team. So Lisa talked about the people on her walls, that she looks to and who she'd like to be. I like to put together a team of healers for anyone that is moving through a challenge. So, what does
Mm-hmm.
that mean? Maybe that means that you have a body worker or energy practitioner or energy healer, which I'm a big fan of because trauma also, gets trapped in your cells. Some of us have heard of, the book, what is it called? The Body Keeps a Score. That's one on my list. I just like the title and I could just imagine what's going to be in it. But trauma gets actually trapped in your fascia, your cells, and everything about your body. I'm sorry, in every place in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have a hip ache, or you may have an abdominal issue, or you may have a back issue, which really is more so related to emotional trauma than perhaps physical.
Mm-hmm.
So having someone like an energy worker, a massage therapist, a therapist or a transformation coach, um, a spiritual, guide if you're into church or whatever it is, wherever your higher belief lies.
Mm-hmm.
It really takes an all-encompassing team when you're going through a trauma, not just one part, right? Like Lisa talked about too. We can't just serve the mind and not the body. We can't serve the body and not the soul or the heart. You really have to look at it as an all-encompassing when you're working on a healing, because the mind alone won't do it, because most often the body becomes the mind when you've been through so much trauma and so many experiences. That's why our body can automatically react without us even being present here. I think so many times we've done stuff, we jump, we lurch, or we're fidgety or whatever it is. I mean, our body just does things and it can do it very well without us. Again, that's Dr. Joe Dispenza's work also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting because I know there's a lot of I think it's somatic work where it's like it's dealing with the trauma in your cells and how many it could go back generations of women
Mm-hmm.
are living. Interesting work. And
Yeah.
do you do that work? Do you do that energy work with that, or do you?
Not with that title, but I have an energy practitioner that
Mm-hmm.
actually works on me.
Mm-hmm.
And he does a myriad of things. So I was laughing just yesterday. He says he has my body learned and memorized. So I just go like you would go for a tune up on your car or,
Mm-hmm.
anything else. I go and I get body work done. He's actually a holistic chiropractor, but does energy work and life coaching. So that's a combination of his practice.
Mm-hmm.
Another beautiful resource that lit up for me when I was ready. So when you open your mind going through challenges, often what you need can come to you. So I like to tell people or suggest if you're open to meditation, and a lot of times, meditation and yoga and all of that, it can sound very trendy. But I say take the trendiness off of it. Really, it's just sitting still and asking a couple of key questions if you're open to it. I love questions when we don't have the answers. And one of my favorites are, what do I need? What do I need?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we don't know when we're going through something. We we just don't know. Sometimes we're not clear enough. I was very frazzled, very anxiety ridden, very stressed. I didn't know what to do, after
Mm-hmm.
I got the phone call. I got the phone call about my diagnosis and then I threw my daughter's 11th birthday party the next day. I just kept going and I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, what do I do? The first thing I did though was I made the decision to get on the other side of it,
Mm-hmm.
to get on the other side. So that's another point that I talk about,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it goes back to again the belief, right? What is it that we want to believe? Is this here to take us out? Is it here to teach us something? Am I going to die? We don't know, but if I get a choice in it, I'm choosing that I'm going to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't know what my next steps were. So just sitting down in meditation and asking the question, what do I need? What's the next right step?
Right.
Who is my healer?
Yeah, and I love. We have to wrap up here, but I love
Mm-hmm.
the open-ended questions because the open-ended questions is where it is where the discovery and curiosity happens instead of I
Mm-hmm.
should, I
Mm-hmm.
need, I gotta, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, those open questions for everyone out there, those open ended questions
Mm-hmm.
is really, that's how coaching is, anyways. We go through all of
Mm-hmm.
just open ended questions. But for you out there, it's like when you ask open ended questions, you're allowing answers to come to you instead of
Mm-hmm.
I should do this and then I need to do that and then I gotta do
Mm-hmm.
this and then
Mm-hmm.
we get into that. So thank you for that, and that's what I picked up is like all those open ended questions
Mm-hmm.
is a beautiful process for us. My hair is bugging me. So
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then things start lighting up for you. Your
Yeah,
next step, your healer,
yeah,
yeah, it all starts coming in for you.
yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
love that.